Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. I'm your host, Ellen, and today we have 100 trivia questions for the boomers. Let's take a look at our Quiz Class awards. You know what to do with these. Let us know how you rank in the comments at the end, along with the answer to the bonus question. And let's take a look at our categories for today. And of course, we will begin with culture and politics. Who were the original 4 Beatles? You can take a look at that yourselves. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Pete Best. Who was the female lead in the 1968 horror film Rosemary's Baby? Sharon Polanski, Mia Farrow, or Sophia Loren? Mia Farrow. How did the musician Buddy Holly die? Plane crash, car accident, or a drug overdose? Plane crash. What is the real name of Bob Dylan? Rob Petruski, Robert Zimmerman, or Bob Allen? Robert Zimmerman. Which of these films were all directed by French New Wave filmmaker Francois Truffaut? The 400 Blows, Jules and Jim, and Shoot the Piano Player. Country singer Loretta Lynn scored her first #1 hit in 1966 with which single? Coal Miner's Daughter, Don't Come Home a Drinkin', or Fist City? Don't Come Home a Drinkin'. Which of the following is a brand of guitar? Stratocaster, Paul Allen, or Fendi? Stratocaster. Where was America's 36th president, Lyndon B. Johnson, sworn into office on November 22, 1963? At the Oval Office, aboard Air Force One, or on board the USS New Jersey battleship? Aboard Air Force One. When did the U.S. Supreme Court rule that prayer in public schools was unconstitutional? 1958, 1975, or 1962? (1962). What type of drugs caused Jimi Hendrix's 1971 overdose death? Cocaine, barbiturates, or heroin? Barbiturates. At what age did Marilyn Monroe first get married? 23, 16, or 19? She was just 16. Which of the following books was written by American author Norman Mailer? Red Badge of Courage, The Naked and the Dead, or The Guns of August? The Naked and the Dead. What was the primary motivation behind the Black Panther movement? Lack of college admissions to Black people, police brutality against Black people, or the opposition to the Vietnam War? Police brutality against Black people. Which American politician said we are not afraid to entrust the American people with unpleasant facts, foreign ideas, alien philosophies, and competitive values? RFK, JFK, or Eisenhower? JFK. Who first sang the hit 1977 song, How Deep Is Your Love? The Bee Gees, Bob Marley, or Joan Baez? The Bee Gees. What European city erupted into widespread student protests, civil disobedience, and riots lasting 7 weeks and starting in May of 1968? Paris, Rome, or Barcelona? Paris. Where was American civil rights figure Malcolm X born? Chicago, Illinois, Omaha, Nebraska, or Los Angeles, California? Omaha, Nebraska. Author Pirsig wrote which influential 1974 bestseller? The Four Agreements, The Alchemist, or Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance? Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. When did former President Richard Nixon resign from office? 1968, 1974, or 1971? 1974. Which beatnik author wrote the renowned book On the Road? Allen Ginsberg, Timothy Leary, or Jack Kerouac? Jack Kerouac. Let's move over to sports for our next category. Where were the 1936 Olympic Games hosted? London, Berlin, or Chicago? Berlin. In 1994, American figure skater Nancy Kerrigan was severely injured after the husband of a rival figure skater hired people to attack her. Where was she injured? Arms, knees, or head? Her knees. What is the nickname of Yankee Stadium? The house that Ruth built, the bullpen, or Murderer's Row? The house that Ruth built. What is the most valuable baseball card in the world? The 1952 Mickey Mantle, 1909 Honus Wagner, or 1914 Babe Ruth? The 1952 Mickey Mantle. Which of the following was not a member of the original 6 National Hockey League teams? Detroit Red Wings, Montreal Canadiens, or Edmonton Oilers? Edmonton Oilers. Who won the 1978 Stanley Cup? The New York Rangers, Montreal Canadiens, or the Boston Bruins? Montreal Canadiens. What was the original location of the LA Dodgers MLB baseball team when they were called the Atlantics? Brooklyn, Philadelphia, or Washington? Brooklyn. Who invented the modern sport of basketball? James Naismith, Orville Wright, or Jack Johnson? James Naismith. Where was hockey legend Wayne Gretzky born? Brampton, Ontario, Peterborough, Ontario, or Brantford, Ontario? Brantford, Ontario. What NHL team did Gretzky win his first Stanley Cup with in the 1983-84 season? Florida Panthers, Edmonton Oilers, or LA Kings? Edmonton Oilers. In 1937, American aviation pioneer Amelia Earhart disappeared in the skies over what ocean? The Atlantic, the Pacific, or the Indian? The Pacific Ocean. How many Major League Baseball teams were there in the original 1901 American League? 10, 6, or 8? 8. When and where was volleyball invented? 1801 UK, 1895 USA, or 1904 Brazil? (1895 USA). What is the main job of a wide receiver in American football? Catching forward passes from the quarterback. What does the word bozze mean in Italian? Ball, bowl, or hit? Bowl. In what venue did tennis star Billie Jean King win her match in the 1973 The Battle of the Sexes? The Houston Astrodome, Arthur Ashe Stadium, or Roland Garros Stadium? The Houston Astrodome. What was most notable about the 1972 Munich Olympic Games? There were a record number of U.S. champions, there was a terrorist attack, or there was an earthquake. There was a terrorist attack. Why is baseball player Jackie Robinson famous? For achieving a record number of runs on base, for striking to raise the salary of MLB players, or for being the first black baseball player in the MLB? And that last one is the answer. What is a grand slam in baseball? When a player hits 2 home runs in a row, when they hit a home run with bases loaded, or when a pitcher throws a perfect strikeout? When a player hits a home run with bases loaded. Who won the first Super Bowl ever played in 1967? The Green Bay Packers, the New York Giants, or the Detroit Lions? Green Bay Packers. And for question 41, travel and cuisine. What is the most populated city in Alaska? Juneau, Anchorage, or Fairbanks? Anchorage. What is the capital city of Brazil? Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, or Brasilia? Brasilia. Which of the following is not a city in Greece? Hania, Volos, or Graphos? Graphos. In which country would you eat kinkali? Uzbekistan, Georgia, or Turkey? Georgia. Russian astronaut Yuri Gagarin was the first human in space in 1961. What city was he born in? Moscow, Vladivostok, or Clushino? Clushino. Where is the city of Hebron? Africa, Asia, or the Middle East? The Middle East. The city of Seattle is most famous for what? Sports, journalism, or coffee? Coffee. Zagreb is the capital of which country? Slovakia, Croatia, or Slovenia? Croatia. Which nation in the EU has the highest GDP? Germany, France, or Spain? Germany. If you travel to the city of Aarhus, you are in which country? Poland, Denmark, or Finland? Denmark. Which nation uses the drum as their unit of currency? Armenia, Turkey, or Belarus? Armenia. What region says skål to say cheers when drinking alcohol? Eastern Europe, Scandinavia, or Latin America? Scandinavia. In what German city would you find the famous Brandenburg Gate? Frankfurt, Berlin, or Dresden? Berlin. What is the native language of Ireland? Gaelic, English, or Hebridean? Gaelic. What is the approximate population of Argentina? 22 million, 36 million, or 46 million? 46 million. In what country is it considered polite to slurp your food and chew noisily? China, Russia, or Lebanon? China. Haggis, or sheep gut pudding, originates from what country? Scotland, the Netherlands, or Germany? Scotland. What country eats silkworm larvae as a local delicacy? Afghanistan, South Korea, or Tajikistan? South Korea. John Krakauer's 1996 bestseller Into the Wild tells the true and tragic story of solo traveler Chris McCandless, who ultimately dies on his trip. Where did he die? Alaska. Buzkashi, a rough sport played using a sheep or goat carcass, is the national sport of which nation? Pakistan, Afghanistan, or Liberia? Afghanistan. And let's move over to history for question 61. Which of the below individuals did not sign the Declaration of Independence? Button Gwinnett, John Adams, or Richard Armitage? Richard Armitage. What is the nationality of Pope Francis? Spanish, Portuguese, or Argentinian? Argentinian. What countries include parts of the Himalaya mountain range? India, China, and Nepal, China and Uzbekistan, or Mongolia and India? India, China, and Nepal. What is the primary ingredient of pesto? Sage, basil, or thyme? Basil. President Abraham Lincoln's son Tad died in 1871 at the age of 18, setting Lincoln into a severe depression. What did Tad die of? Doctors aren't sure. Who is Charleston, South Carolina named after? King Charlemagne, King Charles II, or Charles Darwin? King Charles II. What is the meaning of the state name of Pennsylvania? Penn State, Penitentiary, or Penn's Woods? Penn's Woods. Who was Leif Erikson? A king, an explorer, or a philosopher? An explorer. What was the dominant religion in Arabia prior to the coming of Islam? Christianity, Zoroastrianism, or tribal polytheism? Tribal polytheism. Free Roman men had which of the following rights? The right to rape any poor person, the right to sell or kill family members, or the right to steal from Christians? The right to sell or kill family members. Which of the following three men have all been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize? Hitler, Mussolini, and Stalin. Which Roman emperor appointed his horse as a member of the Senate? Claudius II Gothicus, Caligula, or Gratian? Caligula. France had its last execution by guillotine in 1977. What movie premiered the same year? Apocalypse Now, The Karate Kid, or Star Wars? Star Wars. How many women competed in the first modern Olympic Games held in 1896 in Athens? 24, 48, or 0? 0. What substance did people in Victorian England eat small amounts of in order to get a paler facial complexion? Opium, arsenic, or chalk? Arsenic. What club were Charles Dickens and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle both members of? The Royal Explorers Club, the Ghost Club, or the Literature Review Club? The Ghost Club. Which of the following was used as medicine in the 19th century? Ketchup, beans, or alligator blood? Ketchup. Who did Cleopatra marry? Her friend Constantine, her brothers, or Avicenna? Her brothers. Where is Pocahontas buried? Virginia, Massachusetts, or Kent, England? Kent, England. British author Charles Dickens had a strong fear of which of the following things? Spiders, trains, or ships? Trains. And let's move over to historical wars for question 81. Where did the highest casualty battle of the Vietnam War occur for U.S. forces? Battle of Hue, the Khe Sanh, or the Dak To? Khe Sanh. The 1571 Battle of Lepanto was fought between which two forces? The Ottoman Empire versus the Holy League. How many people died in World War II? 13 million, 64 million, or 93 million? $64 million. What kind of helmet did British soldiers wear at the start of World War I? Metal, Kevlar, or cloth hat? Cloth hat. How many Americans were held as prisoners of war during World War II? 43,000, 68,900, or 130,000? 130,000. Which of the following nations helped the U.S. during the Korean War? Australia and the Philippines, Canada and Cambodia, or Canada and Argentina? Australia and the Philippines. What is the origin of the name Jeep? General purpose vehicle, general recon, or general peer unit? General purpose vehicle. Which of the following jobs were both held by George Washington? Farmer and lawyer, soldier and farmer, or spy and casino owner? Soldier and farmer. Approximately how long did the Battle of Stalingrad last in World War II? 2 years, 6 months, or a year and a half? Six months. The Battle of Mui took place in 1046 BC. Where did it happen? Cambodia, Constantinople, or China? China. And let's move over to this or that for question 91. Which of these figures is credited with discovering penicillin? Ian Fleming or Alexander Fleming? Alexander Fleming. When did the Korean War end? 1952 or it didn't end? It didn't end. Which of the following is a vegetable? Carrot or avocado? Carrot. Who is more likely, on average, to be hit by lightning? A person or a giraffe? A giraffe. What is Wilhelm Reich most well known for? His work in physics or his work in psychology? His work in psychology. What is the longest a dog has ever lived on record? 29.5 years or 24.5 years? 29.5 years. Those with 3 nipples are suffering from which genetic mutation? Polyrhizism or polyphilia? Polyphilia. What color are flamingos when they are born? Pink or gray? Gray. How many calories does the average human brain burn per day on average? 400 to 500 or 900 to 1,000? 400 to 500. Which of the following is a higher amount? Possible chess moves or atoms in the universe? Possible chess moves. And for our bonus question, when was the first microwave sold in the American market? Let us know the answer in the comments, along with how you ranked with our quiz class awards. And here they are in case you forgot. And as always, thanks for playing this quiz. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in our next one. Bye-bye.